Welcome to Throwback Thursday. This episode features a discussion about annoying things on the trail that you can't prevent. Derek strangely didn't make the cut, but we think you'll connect with a few, if not all of the things we came up with. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hello, everybody. This is Derek, and with me today is the only man who calls bark and sap chips and dip, Carl Mandrioli. What's going on?
That was good. I like that one.
Yeah, you would. That is a good one. That's right.
Yeah. And with me today is Derek Somerville. He's a man that thinks the only person who doesn't get annoyed is a skeleton because nothing gets under their skin. Yes.
I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even know what to say.
You can say, good job. That's what you can
I'm
say.
glad because that was annoying, and today we're talking about annoying things today. So it's very appropriate. That was very appropriate, actually.
You and so for the audio listeners out there, we have that the fake sponsor at the beginning. We had the web blower. You didn't like that one, did you?
The web blower, it reminds me of, you said like, do you get a lot of spider webs on your ankles, whatever they are? Do you get a lot of that?
When you're leading the way, you're called like the web breaker. Early in the morning, the spider webs are out, and they kind of getting stuck there. I've had a spider web get stuck in my face before.
I hate that, actually.
Yeah, there's actually a spider web in Australia too, which like those things are like as strong as rope.
Strong as rope.
That was hard to get out. Yeah.
Wow, that must have been scary.
Correct.
Huh? Jeez. It
was scary because I didn't know if there's spiders on it. They're like crawling all over me. So that was
I think the moment you walk into the web, it just feels like the spider's going to just come down and just do things to you.
Right.
But
punish you for breaking the web, right?
It's a lot of work.
So, Merry belated Christmas, my friend.
Merry belated Christmas and Feliz Navidad.
Thank you.
Was it good?
Thank you.
Was it appropriate? Everything flow?
It was appropriate. Did you work as a mall Santa again this year?
A mall Santa again? No, actually, I did not. I never have, but I have done the traveling Santa. I did that long ago. And
what does that mean? Like we need a Santa over here, stat.
No, well, kind of, yeah. It was like I worked for it was kind of like a kids gym, and the owner during Christmas would be like, "Hey, we're gonna like do house calls to Santa." So I would go to different houses and I would bring little toys and candy canes and whatnot and do wishes. And then
I could just see the kid just telling you what they want for Christmas, and you just look at them being like, "I don't care. I just don't care."
A couple times I was like, "You don't want that. Trust, you don't want that.
That thing's gonna break after a day."
The best house, I think it was actually the last house I did. The best house I ever did though was this. I walked in and they don't really tell you anything until you get there. And so I get to this house, and everybody in the family was hearing impaired, deaf.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like learning sign language. It was really cool though, and really sweet family. But it was a fun gig.
Yeah,
it was a really fun gig.
I actually was just joking. I didn't really know that you worked as a Santa before. That's interesting.
I do it all.
I feel like the longer we do our podcast, the longer I get to know you. Like you're still surprising me with some of the old jobs you had and some of the I don't know.
I got a few up my sleeve.
You did. I think you got more than a few, and I think you're probably making about 50% of them. So
those are all true. Okay, I will be your Santa if you need me to come over and do whatever.
All right. Well,
just
I might
you'll
be
have to pay
that.
for it.
We'll see. I don't know if you saw this on Instagram, but I had a merry little Christmas, actually more Thanksgiving car accident. Did you see that?
Let's hear about this.
Well, did you see that? I posted the damage on Instagram.
On your car?
Yeah.
It looked. Was it your? I just wanted to know. Was it your fault?
Oh,
whose fault was it?
That's not like, are you okay? Is there any recurring injuries that are happening? But is it your fault? That's the big question.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah. So it doesn't really matter whose fault it is. You know what it matters? It matters.
Oh, so it's your fault?
No. Just listen. It matters whose fault the police officer thinks it is, right? So
very true.
Yeah,
very true.
Because I don't know. I heard crazy stories growing up where one person was clearly at fault, the other person got blamed. And I was like, yeah. There's probably more to that story, but no, that's what happened this time. So I had a witness in the front seat of my vehicle that confirmed it was my fault. It didn't matter. The police officer said it was my fault, so that's how it went.
Was he there when it happened? Or
no, the other guy called the police officer to kind of, I don't know,
come and check it out.
Do all that stuff to give us tickets, basically. So
That is. Oh, so you get tickets in addition on this
I
one.
worked my way out of the ticket. Police officer was very friendly. It was right before Thanksgiving, but you're supposed to get a ticket.
That is magical. Yeah. I had one probably 3-4 months ago, and we were on the freeway, and the guy came into my lane and sideswiped my car.
Mm-hmm. Yikes, that's scary.
So and it was like right at a. He thought I was like taking off and like running from the scene.
Okay.
When in fact we were kind of at a 3 freeway junction.
Right.
So I'm like it was very chaotic, you know. Mm-hmm. So we ended up pulling over. He's upset, but we didn't. We were pretty quick about it, and we didn't get any tickets. But it ended up being somehow my fault, because he called and said like, "This is what happened." Yeah. And so I'm like, "Well, how does anybody know? It's just all word of mouth, you know? Like, so you're just gonna believe this guy?" And I mean, can you look at the damn? I don't know. It was frustrating though. So
yeah, for sure. So
I'm sorry that happened, man.
Yeah. So the big issue is that it totaled my minivan. So my minivan, we don't have the minivan anymore. We don't have the adventure vehicle to pack in 7 adventurers. And so, so it actually has lasting impacts for backpacking. That's kind of why I brought it up.
The dream is dying then. What are you gonna do?
I mean, I'm sure my wife is probably secretly happy about that, but
probably.
But yeah, so that's done. And yeah, our issue was more that I went on a green light, and that guy said I went. The theory is the cop said like you were stopped at a red light, and while the light was still red, you decided to go and just plow into somebody. Like that's
I don't understand why he's so on this other guy's side. Like what makes
they
him
had
so...
like traffic camera footage, but like none of it showed what color the lights were. So
great cameras. Great cameras.
So he had to judge based upon the behavior with other cars, where like some of the other cars didn't go right away on the green light. But I just looked up at the light. I'm like, the light's green. And then my son was right there. I'm like, Max, do you see a green light? He's like, yep, I see the green light. I'm like, I'm supposed to go. And this guy was way late making a left turn. So anyway, long story short, no more adventure vehicle. So
that's a bummer.
That's how it goes.
Well,
so that was annoying to tie it into our episode for today.
That is annoying.
Yeah.
I'm annoyed for you.
Thank you. Proverbs 27:3, a stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but a fool's provocation is heavier than both.
A fool's provocation. That's deep.
So Derek, in your old age, are you able to identify the fool in your life that is provoking you, or do you still give them the reactions they're after?
I see him before me.
I softball hit out of the park.
And there it goes. There it goes. There it goes. Yeah, it was easy. Yeah, I mean, you just, like I just have to deal with you. It's just a constant struggle. So you are that you are that gravel in my sock.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm the fool apparently. Yeah, and Derek said he sees me before him because so for those who don't know, we're on YouTube. We got our YouTube channel going. We've got
subscribe.
We've got a quest to get to 1,000 subscribers. We have Villain Jesse suggesting that nobody's going to watch our YouTube channel because we don't have enough subscribers anyway. And
prove him wrong.
We're trying to prove him wrong. We've done okay so far. It just depends on the episode. But we could...
Like, they've never, ever heard anybody suggest they subscribe to anything on YouTube. Right. And we're going to do it again. And I'm hoping it'll be different this time.
You know what's funny about that is like people say it almost, as a side note, it's very ingenuine, like, oh, like and subscribe, right? They say that on every YouTube video. But research has shown that it actually, for some reason, like, works. I don't know why. That whole subliminal message thing. I don't know. Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
We'll just say it like repeatedly throughout this episode. Like and subscribe. Here's my response. Here's my first annoying thing. Like and subscribe.
That's number 3, 4, and 5 on my list, actually. Like and subscribe.
That's funny. All right. So we got our top 10 annoying trail experiences that you can't solve, but we're going to try to solve them anyway. And I don't know. I bet, knowing you're going to have some creative solutions here. Are you up for doing this like top 10 list style? Like we'll do a countdown. We'll take turns. Yeah.
All right. But number 1 doesn't mean it's the best. It's just number 1, just so we know.
Then why would a countdown matter if number 1's not supposed to be the best?
All right, fine. I got a great one.
And by the best, it's really the most annoying, right?
I mean, it's all, subjective, but.
Right. That's what this episode is. It is subjective, but it's okay. We are the...
So is it your number 1 or my number 1? That's the question. Why don't you do number 9?
If you go second, then you'll get the number 1.
You can go second. I know you want it. It's going to be
I don't care. I just want to make sure that we agree upon the
Derek
format.
in the tent. at night, number one. Hilarious.
None of these are about you. They're all about things in general that can't be solved. If they were all about you, solving them would be you don't go on the backpacking trip.
Carl cannot win at games. That's your number 3.
Okay.
I know. It's annoying.
All right.
It is.
All right. I'll go first then.
Fair.
Okay. So,
All right. So I get the number 1? I don't know. I'm going to be mocked for whatever number 1. That's your number 1? Really? Okay. I'll try it, though.
It's subjective. That's what we are the authority.
Proceed.
On the annoying for this one.
Proceed.
Okay. Proceed. Okay. All right. I'm going to go with number 10 is mildly annoying, I'm going to say. And that is something that I like to call pack squeak.
Pack
squeak. Yeah. So you're hiking along
and
there's some tension with some of your straps or buckles or something. You can't quite figure out where the tension is coming from, but as you're hiking, like your pack is squeaking.
Okay.
This has happened with many, like pretty much almost every single pack I've ever owned over the years. Some are worse than others, and typically the more weight you have in the pack, the more squeaky it gets. But it sounds like you're not familiar with this.
I'm familiar. I just don't find it that big of an issue.
Right. That's why it's number 10.
Right.
That's why it's
I don't
number
even know
10.
if I put this on my list, though, but...
Okay. Well, that's why it's not on your list. That's why I have my own ideas.
I'm shocked at that as well. Well, I'm sorry the little high-pitched squeaking sounds are annoying to you. What do you like to do about it? Do you like to grease your frame, or what do you do?
Put some butter.
lube it up.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. So I came up with the annoying issue. Do you have, aside from lubing up every strap on your pack, what would you do?
I guess I thought you'd just get a pack with like a frameless situation or something.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about it.
Well, I'm carrying all of your gear. You got to have more substantial frame.
You're carrying my gear.
You don't think I carry your gear?
The shoulders need more support. That's true. Well, lighten the load, move things around, reshuffle things, balance it.
Rebalance it. Yeah, I don't think it's a balance issue. There was one pack where I found the culprit, and so I just kind of adjusted that buckle. But I've currently got one with the Mystery Ranch backpack that I'm using, and that's a super squeaky one. And I think that I have to find the culprits. And so sometimes you can't, though. Sometimes you just like, I don't know, it's like different areas.
So to find a culprit, are you walking around with it on, trying to identify what side of the backpack it's on? Because you can't like see it as you do it, right? You can't
correct.
Like take it. Okay, that's super awkward. So,
or you could have a friend kind of hike next to you and see, as you make a movement, is that putting tension in certain areas, and can they identify the zone that it's coming from?
Sounds like a good use of hiking time right there. Sounds great. Super fun. Hey, Lance, or whatever your name is. Can we hike for 2 miles and you can find where my squeak is and fix it for me? Thanks. Sounds like a great idea. Hey, Barry.
Lance.
Hey, Barry. Hey, Charles.
Yeah. Charles. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was number 10. Number 9, what you got?
My number 9, I guess, is it's like when you have your sunglasses and they don't fit properly. Maybe they feel tight on the side of the head. Maybe your nose is like, you've been walking for miles and miles and it's sweaty and it starts getting red and irritated. And you're just kind of like, why can't I get some sunglasses that fit? Maybe you got the new Oakleys. Maybe you got the old Ray-Bans. I don't know what you got. But when that is occurring, annoying for sure. Because then your face feels sore. Little tension here.
I'm struggling. Like, it's not my calves, it's my face that feels sore.
Sometimes your face feels sore. You get it's like people wear glasses and they get annoying after a while.
Yeah.
They get
For me, the glasses are annoying when they don't fit right and they start sliding down your nose. You got to keep on pushing them back up there.
Well, that's just poor purchasing right there. I don't know.
Okay, that's way different than what you're saying.
Way different. Right? That's totally different. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that, you can bend the frames a little bit to try to readjust them, but I think the big issue with that
you're assuming I'm buying metal frames. What if I buy the plastic frames?
No, you can bend the plastic frames.
You gonna bend the plastic frames?
I think you're technically bending, what do you call it? The joint part of it that has the hinge on it. I think that's what's being bent, which is made of metal, even on plastic frames.
The joint hinge. Okay.
Yeah. Are you not familiar with glasses?
Well, what about... familiar with glasses. Do you know where they go in your face? They have some of those all-plastic ones that have like the little nose pieces like built into... It's not separate. It's like built into...
Yeah, that part, you're right. That part's not
you can't... What do you do that? You can't do that.
You could take... Okay, so you like to bring a multi-tool that might have some sort of like a file. You could kind of file it down to shave off... Some of the rubber.
Just get it nice and rough and jagged for your nose.
Right. Grippy.
That sounds like a good idea. Sounds like a great idea.
I think that if you bend the glasses, though, the risk is that you're going to break them. And when you have superhuman strength, like we all struggle with, then it's
correct.
It's a risk.
I've actually done that twice, so I'm hesitant.
You've tried to bend them and you've broken, like you snapped
I was like,
them?
let me try to tweak the, maybe like the, like the earpieces are like a little off for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe the plastic's wore. I don't know. Whatever. So I've tried to like bend it and it just snapped. Something snapped.
Right.
So
right. Okay.
So that's annoying. That's my number 9.
It's number okay. That's fair. Actually, I had that on my list as well, but more from sliding down in the nose. So similar. This one I think might be solved by the company that is the culprit, and it's the drippy bite valve. Number 8.
That is okay. Well, that was one of mine. Leaky bite valve. So
really?
Yeah, that was my number 5.
Oh,
so
okay.
let's. I guess we combine that one, but yeah, I'm in agreement on this one.
Man, what's the? I should have looked it up. The company name is like Hydro something. They make all the bite valves and the water reservoirs for all the major companies. I think they send them out to 10 different companies. And so if you're not liking your bite valve, you're not liking your water reservoir, you might switch. You might go from like Osprey to Gregory or whatever, and it's going to be the same stinking thing. And so a few years ago, the companies upgraded their bite valves, and so they looked a lot more professional. They just looked like higher quality, but they weren't. They were leaky. And so after using them for a few days, they would just, unless you locked it out, it would leak on you. And I think they've since switched them. At the Outdoor Retailer Show, I think they made some new ones, and I haven't tested those ones out yet. But what's your solution?
I don't know. I mean, I just never like angle it up maybe somehow on your, maybe slide it through your shoulder strap thing here. You can slide it up, maybe just leave it up. I don't know, but it is annoying. I mean, I always wonder, like, do they test their own products? I just always go back to this.
Yeah, they do. I don't think a lot of people test their own
care.
products over like duration, or they don't put it through like an endurance test, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, put it out on the trail and see. Yeah, because a lot of these things that we keep talking about have issues after like a day or two. Pillows, bite valve. You know what I mean? Like, it's just interesting to me that.
Well, I mean, this goes back to the whole like. This conversation I had about a year ago with Life Straw that had their new squeeze filter out.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then I was like, so what kind of test did you put it through? They're like, oh, we dropped it off buildings. We drove over with cars. We stepped on it. Dude, this thing will last. And I was like, these are not problems that backpackers are having. We're not chucking it off cliffs. The problem we're having is we're squeezing it over and over again, and then they burst. So have you done that? Have you squeezed it over and over again? I think I asked, do you have like a machine with like robot hands that can squeeze it and test it out? And they're like, oh no, we don't have that.
Nah, we wouldn't do the most obvious test. That would be
right. And so, painful. You know what, man, we got to get hired at some of these companies so that we can tell them how to test it, because that's going to be how they sell their items is we've put this through the ringer. This will last you whatever, years on the trail, right?
Yeah. You would think, but no. Yeah.
Okay. That was my number 8. Number 7, what you got?
That was my number 7, but I guess I'll now do number 6, and you can do 5.
So you got to figure it out. You got.
So now you're going to do number 1 now. This is huge. Okay, so this is one where this happened to me. What was it? A couple years ago, and you don't really know when it's going to happen, but like we were on like a pretty good uphill. It was going to be like a pretty steep incline, maybe a couple thousand feet incline, and just cruising along, no big deal, everything's great. And then all of a sudden you get, maybe I scuffled my feet, I don't know what happened, but I got like a bunch of little rocks in my shoe. And like, when you're going uphill and it's like, I don't want to stop, because when I stop, my body's going to be like, and it's going to be harder to get going again. So it's like, you don't want to stop, but like, you got these rocks in your shoes now. So it's like, oh, I want to stop, but I don't. So it was like this, it was really annoying situation, because I'm like, I don't want to stop, but this is annoying my foot. So
I mean, this could go back to like you feel a hot spot and you've been hiking for a quarter mile to start your trip, right? You just don't want to stop.
You don't want to stop. Well, that's another one. You're just naming all of mine now, but I'll get back to that one later.
That's too similar. You can't have that one. That's too similar to the one you just
What do you mean it's similar? One's a blister, one's a rock. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but the rock causes the blister, though.
Does it? Does it, though? Maybe I had a shoe that didn't fit right because I just bought them 3 days before the trip and didn't break them in.
Why would you do that? That's another issue. Why would you buy shoes 3 days before?
We talked about this like years ago. I bought those shoes. I didn't have time to try them out. I was like, I'll be fine. And then like last day of the trip, my Achilles is just burning.
Yeah.
Because of this dumb shoe.
Yeah.
And I had a blister somewhere. So, Whatever.
That just gave me an idea for something that we got to talk about later. But all right, the rocks in the shoe. So the obvious solution is you don't want to stop, but it could cause a blister or it could cause like a cut. So you got to stop. You have to stop.
You got to stop.
Right. So how do you stop efficiently without causing your body to go into revolt?
I think that you have to find a good spot on the trail where you can, like, I don't know, lean against a tree or whatever, and then like put your foot up on a rock and like not have to bend all the way down and deal with it, but just kind of like minimize that motion of bending over and dealing with the shoe. But
yeah, because once the pack comes off, then you're like, well, it feels nice to have the pack off and just to sit here for a little bit. How about a little bit longer?
Yeah, and I don't want to be a mandrioli with the pack off every 2 miles. So
right,
you got to find that rock to put your foot on.
Yeah,
you're gonna do it.
And then before you know it, you're looking up the trail. You're like, man, he's way up there. He's like 5 switchbacks ahead. He's breaking all the spider webs for me.
But I don't worry about that. I don't worry about that because I'm like, he's gonna take the pack off momentarily, and I'll catch up. Or he's gonna try to go number 2 out there, and it'll take him an hour to figure out where to go, and he doesn't want me to see him, and all this other stuff. So
right.
So that was kind of 2, but we'll blend it into 1, and I'll add another one there.
How often is this an issue for you?
The rock in the shoe. I think it happens every.
Yeah.
I want to say every couple of years I'll get something like that, and then I'll have to figure it out. But normally it's
okay. That's not that often.
It's not that often. It's not like every trip. But
if it's every trip, or if it's multiple times a trip, depending upon the terrain that you're going in, like you could just wear the ankle gaiters.
I was gonna say I'm not. If I'm wearing shorts and ankle gaiters, that's a real look right there. But I'm not doing it.
Oh, you're a fashion guy. Sorry,
I'm a fashion guy.
Police. Fashion police.
But I usually wear pants anyway. But the gaiters, I don't think I've graduated to that intensity level yet. But
okay, if you're wearing the pants, this shouldn't be a problem because typically you're kicking some dust and little rocks up as you're hiking.
True.
And unless you're sinking in, which you're not, the pants should shed all that stuff, right?
It should shed. I think the few times it's happened, like maybe we went swimming and I just didn't change, and they're like, "Oh, we got a few more miles to go."
Mm-hmm. Swimming with shoes on.
When I got them back on and we were walking on the trail post swim, I know you don't go in the water, but it's okay. And we started hiking, and this is what happens. So,
all right,
there I am. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that was number 7. I don't know if we're going to make it down to number 1 because you keep on doubling up and we're taking each other's, but
what's your
we'll
next?
Try.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Next one, let's see. I'm looking at my list here. Let's go with, I'll stick with the same theme, but different issue here.
Okay.
Is like if you like to wear the below the ankle socks, the socks falling down in your shoe, and then sometimes kind of getting under your heel as you continue to hike.
Do you wear those on the trail? You wear those on the trail?
Sometimes.
You haven't learned
sometimes.
Yet. I think problem is just get the ankle high socks.
So the ones that go over the ankle, they don't feel as good on my foot. And when you can get good fitting below the ankle socks, oh man. Form fitting, I love that stuff.
Really?
So I do. Huh. But then if you wear them out even like a little bit, then you have the issue I'm describing, right?
So little things in life, it's the little things.
Do you own any below the ankle socks at all?
I do.
All right.
I do. But I would never wear them hiking.
Even in life, do you have this issue?
It has occurred. I think I wear them with like dress shoes occasionally.
All right.
And it has happened, yes. It is.
What's the scenario in your life where you need to wear dress shoes?
Maybe I'm going to a nice fancy dinner, Carl. Maybe I, like to do nice things every now and then. Okay.
The impression you gave is that you don't need to wear dress shoes, and you probably don't own a suit either.
I have a suit actually, and I upgraded the socks that were slipping down, and on the back of the heel now are some little grip strips that are part of the sock, so I don't have this problem anymore.
Oh, okay.
They
grip
do
strips.
Grip strips. They do make, So you could get better socks, maybe? I don't know.
I got a
problem solved.
Grip strips.
Who would have thought? Grip strips. I mean, geez, it's so hard.
All right, that was my number 6. What's your number 5?
Number 5. I'm gonna go the old sunscreen in the eyes.
Oh yeah.
You start sweating. Mm-hmm. It drips in the eye, and then you got to fiddle with it. Maybe your hands maybe you get your trekking poles in your hand. Maybe you got dirty hand. I don't know, whatever. It's annoying. Then what do? You got to stop. You got to flush it out. You gonna rub it for an hour? What are you gonna do with that?
Both. I'm doing both those things.
Huh.
And it is an hour. It takes forever to get that thing out of your eyes.
It's annoying. It's very annoying. Yeah. So that will always be a tried and true one that I'm not sure. Unless you get that like somehow No, I mean, I don't really know what to say about it unless you like wear a headband or some what would you do to like not sweat?
How do you prevent
stay in the tent? Stay in the tent. There you go. Problem solved.
Do Derek Miles.
Derek Miles. Hilarious. That was a softball. There you go. It was like you foul tipped it off though. It wasn't that really good? It's okay.
Okay, so I can tell you, definitely a sweatband or a non-buff neck gaiter that you're wearing on your head could actually work.
Non-buff neck gaiter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the issue is that's going to warm your head, so it might actually cause you to sweat more, but it just gets absorbed. Yeah. And then if you wear that thing and don't wash it frequently, now you got like pimply head. So the other issue with having the sunblock in your eyes is not from the sweat itself, like kind of dripping down. It's like you're tired, you rub your eyes or something, and so you're actually pushing it into your eye unwittingly.
You think you're helping yourself, but you're not.
Yeah, you're not thinking through that. No. Once it gets into your eye, you're done with it. It's over. I have heard, though, in terms of the sweat, some people would put like a little Vaseline, like kind of next to their eyebrows, almost creating,
a barrier of sorts?
Yeah, so that when the sweat comes down, it kind of goes and it gets funneled to the side of your eyes. And
just like pools around over here?
I mean, you don't want to have, you're not trying to create a little like pool of sweat.
How much Vaseline are you putting on your face? You just put like a barrier of Vaseline?
It's just like a little streak of it on there, and so then it kind of like just
I would love to see you do that. Just put a barrier.
I don't do that. I'm saying I've heard somebody doing that.
Like a unibrow of Vaseline.
I'm thinking more like on the side of your eyebrows, because it typically goes. Yeah, my sweat comes down the side of my face. Does your sweat go right down the bridge of your nose into your eyes that way?
It has, yeah, it has.
Okay,
yeah. These are real problems right here. What's your next one? How'd you get back?
All right, so that was number 5. My number 4 is the person that's hiking ahead of you that's just a little bit faster than you. You can't catch up to them. They've got really bad gas. They had a little too much chili mac with beef, and they're just
this is a problem for you. This is up there.
You out.
This is up there.
Yeah. So if you can hike faster than them, you can say, "Hey, can you hike behind me?" But if you can't catch them,
but wait. Let's go back a minute. You're gonna tell this person, guy or girl, hey, I know you're hiking faster than me, and you will probably do so the rest of the day. But can you hike behind me, please?
No, I'm saying you can only do that if you're faster than them. You can't do that if they're faster than you.
Yeah, then you're just coughing and breathing that all day.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you try to stop and wait and like you're in the middle of a conversation, then they just think, oh, they're stopping to wait. I want to keep talking, so I'm going to stop and wait
Why don't you just like let them get ahead a little bit further?
I literally just explained that scenario. I just described it.
And
then you interrupted my description with asking about that scenario.
I still think you should do it. That's not a hard solve. That's not a hard.
Stop and wait, and then they stop and wait so they can finish the conversation. So then you got to be very assertive up front, like you are spraying me with your bad gas. I'm stopping to wait so I don't have to smell your stink.
You're gonna say spraying. You were.
Well, what else is it?
You were blasting me with your toot.
Right.
I think that you need to end that conversation abruptly. And then just say, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna get some water. Just go out ahead. I think you have to do it more subtly about that.
Let's play it out. So we're in the middle of a conversation. It's your job to end it abruptly. So Derek, like, catch me up. How's life going? How what's new with your kids? Like, just kind of tell me what's going on.
Just so you're the one with the gas. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, you're the one with the gas. Kids are good. Kids are good. You know what? Just hang on a second. I might have something in my shoe. I'll catch up.
I got rocks in my shoe. My sock's falling down.
I got some sunscreen in my eye. Darn sunscreen in my eye. I'm going to need a minute. Go ahead. I'll catch up. We'll finish this later.
All right. Problem solved. Okay.
There you go.
Point Derek, you in that one.
That's a professional way to handle it, Or wait till the trail gets wider and then walk side by side. Then you know no problem. Oh, that's funny.
All right. Number 3, what you got?
All right. Number 3. Oh, we're on 3? No, we're on 2. I thought you were on odds.
No, I was number 4. I just did number 4.
I've already combined like 3 of these.
Tough it out.
Just make up another one. All right. Okay. This is maybe more of a personal thing that I created an annoyance for myself, where I go and brush my teeth, and then after I brush my teeth, like the toothbrush still has a bunch of junk on it, like toothpaste. So maybe for some people who don't like to brush their teeth or don't care, you're like, oh, I'll just stick it back in my bag. I'll put it back in the baggie. Like, ew. But for me, I'm like, I want to rinse off my toothbrush.
Right.
So either I drink water, gargle it, mix it with my own spit, and then like stick the brush in my mouth and blah, 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 and then it's good, which I've done. Or, but then I was like, it just doesn't do it for me. So then I would bring like a little miniature squeeze bottle with a little spray tip. And then
just to clarify, this is just to solve this problem.
I know, right? It's becoming more annoying for myself. So then I get this little bottle and I'll like squeeze.
You're bringing extra gear just to solve this problem.
I've done this. I didn't do this last trip, but I did it like probably 3 or 4 years in a row. Maybe 5.
I did not know.
I brought this little extra bottle,
hilarious.
and I would squeeze like stuff onto my toothbrush. So
yeah,
what do you do to rinse your toothbrush, or you just don't?
I know I do. I know I can see why this is annoying. I totally get it. But I just pour water on it.
You just use But do you bring like your bladder over, or are you bringing like a separate sports bottle, or what?
I don't have. I mainly use water bottles on the backpacking trip. So I just put, you know what? If you're in an area where the water is precious, or you're a little ways away from the filtration spot, I can see why you would not want to do that. I totally get that. I still do it though. I account for that when I'm getting water. Yeah.
Okay. You account for your toothbrush when you fill up your water.
For how much I have at camp.
Okay.
I know I'm going to use some of this for brushing teeth. Yeah,
that's fair.
Sure.
I did that last trip. I just brought my water bottle. But then it's the challenge I have is like, hey, long day. I only have a half of bottle left. Can I make this last till tomorrow without going and filtering somewhere?
Right.
Do I want to use it for my, toothbrush? Not always.
Well, as we learned from Justin Outdoors, there are some backpackers that don't brush their teeth at all, so you could solve some problems there.
I will not do that, and that is disgusting. So
it is, but you know what? We had a comment, I think it was on YouTube, on our YouTube video version of the podcast, where somebody said, so I'm supposed to brush my teeth while I'm backpacking? And I think they made a comment about, like, maybe they'll consider the unpaced thing or whatever. But apparently, Dan Becker is not alone in this. So
I'm not surprised. I think people forego a lot of those hygienical things.
That one surprised me a little bit. So
the shower I get, because you're out there, but the teeth, we can do better. I think as a society, we can do better. So anyway, what's your number? What are we on? 2?
2. My number 2. So my last one. All right. This one, now, in recent years, this is not a problem for you.
Okay.
But this has been a problem for you in the past. So don't pretend like this wasn't a problem, because in recent years, you've solved this.
I thought these weren't about me.
No, this one's a problem for me. I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
This is a problem for a lot of folks out there. A lot of folks. Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
If you're carrying a little extra weight, or maybe even a lot of extra weight in your stomach, the stomach area, and then you're tightening your hip belt down, it kind of pushes it up, pushes the kind of the extra chunkiness up, and makes you look chunkier than you really are.
That's an annoyance for you?
Yeah.
To look fatter?
It's an annoyance for everybody. People don't want to look chunkier than they already are.
Let me be honest, like, it's not really affecting you either way. So
it's not affecting me.
I love you. Like, when you push it up, do you feel like you push a lot up? Or
depends on the year. Like, some years I'm not pushing any up, but some years, like in the last year, I'm pushing a lot.
I mean, you're pushing something up, whether it's food and junk or it's like your entrails, if you will.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about like your stomach fat. That's
what I'm saying. Your like inside of your dude. What's inside? Your entrails, like your intestines, like all that's there too.
But the food is like temporary though. You said the food and stuff. I'm saying like it's the actual, like the chunk.
The chunk.
Yeah.
Well, some of us, exercise, try to keep that chunk down.
Exactly. And that's the exact reaction I was expecting from you. Because again, what I said before was this has not been a problem for you recently, but it has been a problem in the past.
I would agree with that. I think I didn't wear my pack correctly. That was a problem, and that contributed. But now,
the hip belt pushing up is not your extra chunk. It's just not wearing the pack correctly. Incorrect, Derek. Incorrect.
That definitely contributed.
You lost some weight in the last few years, which is admirable, and you've kept it off. At least the last time I saw you, you've been doing really great with that. But you've had some chunky years. Let's be honest.
We've all had some chunky years.
Exactly. Some
more than others, and that's okay. It is. I mean, let's be honest. When you Is that why you take your pack off more? Is it to feel that release, that pressure release? What is that?
Pressure release.
Because I know when I get to camp after a long day and you take that hip belt off, you're like, yes, it feels good.
Right, especially when you're pushing some stuff up there.
Pushing some stuff.
I'm going to work towards not having that be an issue for this upcoming backpacking season. And I've already taken some steps in that regard, but it's not an exercise issue, man. Especially as you get older, it's a diet. It's an eating habits issue.
Diet issue for sure.
Yeah, I'm exercising all the time.
What do they say? 80% diet, 20% gym is the secret or something like that.
For me, it feels like a 100%. It feels like I could lose weight and it'd be without even exercising. It's just 100% diet.
Cut the sugar
for me.
Just cut the sugar.
It's not that simple. That doesn't
start there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go.
Dietitian Derek. There you go.
Problem solved.
That's my number 2. And the number 1 most annoying trail thing that you can't solve is...
I like that I've already done all 6 of mine because I combined 4 of them. So maybe you just do the number 1. You got another one for number 1? I'm out.
I've got a few more on my list here.
Okay, throw one on there that you hate.
I don't know if these deserve to be the number 1. I'm just looking at my list here.
What about like if you're traveling on the trail and there's just those slower people who aren't part of your group, but they don't want to, and maybe they don't hear you, like older people, and they just don't get over, and they're just gonna just stay on the trail, and it's like a narrow trail. It's like that.
You feel like you can't get around them.
Well, if you're gonna break the crust, no, I don't want to be breaking crust on the trail.
In Canyonlands you're talking about, or in the desert zones. That is an issue. That's real. That truly is an issue.
Yeah, I mean, like if you get a lot of people and people are slow, what are you gonna do? Just gonna wait till the trail?
So you're assuming that you've tried the like step 1. Making sounds so they know you're behind you. Step 2, hey, do you mind if I scoot by?
But where are they gonna go? That trail was so narrow,
right?
And then you're just gonna make that old person like step on a rock and balance themselves while we go away? I don't know.
I don't mind if it's like right next to the trail. I'm not talking like you're going miles off trail.
What are you gonna do? You just be like, hey,
I'm gonna bust the crest. I'm busting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here.
Yeah. I know that's shocking to everybody out there.
You're not just going to be like, hey, Barbara, why don't you slide over and let us pass? You're just going to break the crust and go.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to break the crust. And if they accuse me of breaking the crust, I'm going to say, well, whose fault is this?
Always pointing the finger. Carl Mandrilli, everybody. Pointing the finger. It's your fault. I broke the crust.
That's right. So your number 1 answer is the annoying people that won't get out of your way. My goodness.
People who break the crust without knowing they broke, or intentionally. Intentional crust breakers.
Okay. I'll piggyback and just say we can just say annoying trail users. My big thing, because I'm on the trail all the time, is I get out of the way of others and they don't acknowledge or say thank you at all. And sometimes I'll get out of the way when they actually have the right of way, or when I have the right of way. So I should keep going, and I just get out of the way. But
we've talked about this in the past. Like, not everybody knows the right of way, and so if it's your right of way and you still get out of the way, some people don't even know that, so they might not even feel obligated to say thank you. And
it's just annoying. It's not something that needs to be solved. It's just annoying. And so I'm just trying to make the number 1 more legit.
My number 1 then is people who drop drink mix on the trail and don't know about it. And I have to pick it up.
How dare they?
How dare they? It's so horrible.
Yeah. Derek's talking about something I did about 5 years ago and haven't done since, and he cannot let it go.
Yeah, I think he did it twice. One was intentional.
5 years ago was actually more than 5 years ago now. I think we're pushing 6.5.
Still a haunting memory for me.
It is. All right. So there we go. What did we miss? What's something annoying for everybody else out there? Please leave it in the YouTube comments or message us on Facebook at Backpacking and Blisters, Instagram. We got our email down below. You tell us what we missed, that's something annoying that you can't solve. And you know what? Derek's going to solve it for you because his creative juices are flowing.
Flowing, baby. They're flowing. All right. Figure it out.
You got trivia?
Yeah. I got trivia, and we're going to do it right after this.
The trail is calling your name. Are you ready? Are you really ready? Our good friend Rowan from Summit Strength can get you trail ready. Rowan uses rock-solid evidence to design a specialized training program just for you. There are plenty of cookie-cutter programs out there that will get you only halfway up the mountain. Make it to your adventure summit with Summit Strength. The link to your success is always in our episode description, but you can check out all the information you need at summitstrength.com.au/online. It's time to be strong and pain-free for your next adventure. Did you know that you can buy a high-quality, brand-new backpack for under $100? Our partner Teton makes durable gear and sells it at an affordable price. The Scout series of packs have a variety of capacity options and colors that will not break the bank. Likewise, Teton has a great selection of affordable and durable tents, bags, and pads. Teton is a great place to start or improve your backpacking adventures, and everything comes with a lifetime warranty. Hike happy, camp cozy, sleep easy with Teton.
We got 3 questions, and I thought appropriately, these are 3 things, true stories that have, or things that occur that annoy you personally. So I want to see, this is a fill in the blank. I want to see if you can figure out these 3 things that annoy you.
Me.
You, personally, you.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
And,
Number
and
1.
we haven't covered any of these so far in the episode?
Not in the episode.
Wow.
Not that I believe, no.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty exciting. Number 1, you found this annoying on a recent trip when trying to navigate. What did you find annoying?
The app, the All Trails app that was being used by one of our fellow adventurers that was not updating and thus leading us to navigate incorrectly.
Correct. That is correct. And you wish you had brought a map, but you didn't have a map.
Right.
Number 2.
I have to clarify. I got to clarify why I didn't have a map. I think I just said this recently, but we had changed the trip last minute, and I didn't have time to buy a map online.
Yeah, you've said that.
Yeah, but I just for people that are new to the show, it's not that I'm not willing to buy a map. I try to buy a map, but we changed our trip last minute.
Carl gets very defensive about maps, and I
want to come across as responsible as a trip planner. I don't want people thinking like I'm just going willy nilly. Oh, who needs a map?
Hey, I hate to tell you that ship has sailed a long time ago. Okay, Number 2. Maybe if you fail this, I know you like to wear hats. We were talking about hats earlier. Maybe if you fail this trivia, you'll have to do like half an episode with no hat.
When were we talking about hats earlier? Like on the show, we were talking about hats.
I think like pre-show, like off.
Just want to clarify.
Yeah, and maybe it might help your lighting. Just saying. I'll take that as a yes. You'll do it. Okay. Number 2, you'll find this small piece of flair on backpacks, and you hate it. Small piece of flair.
Oh, okay. Like not like a flare you light in an emergency.
No, like that's what I thought of. Pack flare or whatever you call it.
Yeah, pack ornaments is what we've been saying for years.
Ornaments. That's your term.
There's a lot. It could be the carabiner. It could be
carabiner. That was it.
The fake. You got it. The fake compass / thermometer. All that stuff.
The carabiner, the jingle jangle. He hates the jingle jangle. What else does he hate? Other than Nalgene bottles. Okay. Number 3. You're already passed. You're good. Number 3. Keep that hat on, buddy. Number 3. You find this camp chore annoying and wish others would do it or contribute doing it. What is that camp chore?
I find it annoying because I'm always filtering everybody's water.
Filtering the water.
That's right.
Filtering the water.
That's right.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was good. 3 for 3.
And speaking of the hat, you didn't even notice my cool hat today. Can you see that?
Well, I haven't. Well, because you have your head tilted up. What is it? That's Bigfoot with the alien situation. I like that.
It's got the UFO up top, shining the light down on Bigfoot.
They would be the ones to find him, though. They would be.
Well, some people think they're connected. Just FYI.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. So thanks for the trivia. Appreciate that.
3 for 3. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Speaking of trivia, I got some tidbits that involve trivia.
Oh.
You ready?
Okay. Let's go.
All right. So we did a bonus episode a few months back with trivia, like a backpacking themed trivia game show. Got nothing but positive reviews. And so I said, let's do this for a regular episode. So I put the notification out on Patreon. Who wants to be on our trivia game show? How many responses did we get?
0.
Close. We got 1 response from Jason from Oregon. Thank you, Jason. And so we had it scheduled, and we have to push it back because we need 3. And so you got to know how to use Zoom. You got to know how to plug in the audio. You got to have decent lighting because we're on YouTube now. But I'm throwing this out to everybody, not just our lovely Patreon supporters. Do you want to be on the trivia game show, backpacking and blitzers themed? We're going to be recording it in the next month or so. You have to. There is one caveat: is that Derek is on Pacific time, and we tend to record on the later side of Pacific time. So either you got to be, Pacific time zone, Mountain time zone, or willing to stay up late. Is kind of what it boils down to.
Those West Coasters, man.
Yeah.
Such a pain.
You're a pain for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now that we're putting out to everybody, we need 3 to take the first. I'm going to take the first 4, and we'll have like a, in case somebody just doesn't show up kind of thing. How many we're going to get? How many responses?
You want me to guess?
Yeah.
I'm going to say like
predict
4. Let's say 4.
4 exactly. Okay. We'll see.
4 exactly.
I mean, there's prizes, so I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. I guess the one risk is that Derek is doing one of the rounds with his trivia, so you got to put up with that.
Put up with that. That's great trivia.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
creative.
High quality.
Oh,
right.
wow. Patronization laced through this conversation.
Right.
Do you have any, what other tidbits you have for us other than your mockery of trivia?
We have a review from a little while back. I promised to go through this with you. Can you pull it up? Is your phone handy?
Yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, can you pull it up? Can you pull up the recent reviews? It's a few back. Somebody wrote like a script for us. I don't know if they intended us to read it, but they're referencing our show as if like we are characters from the movie The Knight's Tale. All right, here we go. So it's 2 lines. You got 1 line, I got 1 line?
All right.
Here it is. This is from Salvador 793. Thank you for the review.
Yeah.
Derek, you have been weighed. You have been measured, and you have been found wanting.
Ooh, that's a good line by Rupert. What's his name? It's called a lance. Hello.
I like that movie. You like that movie?
Knight's Tale? Great movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid.
I think historically accurate too, right?
100% accurate.
100%. Yep.
Verbatim.
Okay. Verbatim. All right. The last one I've got is if you are on YouTube or even the audio version of this, we do have links in our show description about the gear that we've used over the years that we like, that's kind of stood the test of time. Clicking on those links, and if you end up purchasing something from those links, do help our show and keep our show going. So those are called the affiliate links that we have on there. Nobody really does that. Nobody really clicks on those things. So I figured I'd give it a mention in case you're going to buy gear anyway. So they're in the audio app. They're in the YouTube description. So just want to put it out there if you want to support the show. We would definitely appreciate it.
Make it like a Merry Christmas click. Like a Merry Christmas.
Well, yeah, Christmas already happened, but sure.
Well, belated. A New Year's click. We'll do that.
Okay. Yep.
That's fair. That's all you got. That's all I got. We'll see you next time, guys. Check out all your podcasts, review, YouTube, all that. You know what to do. We will see you next time. And remember, if you didn't break any crust during the holidays with pie, remember, I'm doing a podcast with a guy who intentionally breaks crust on the trail. We'll see you next time.
I want to fly around the world.
Yeah, so there's one more. I had like a number, not number 1. It was more like a number 0 scenario. When you have a look. He's not here. I think he went to the bathroom, so he's not going to hear this. But when you have bald friends, it's they do. I don't talk about this in public, but you get that like bald glare. It's like brighter than the sun in your face. So like I have to wear extremely double, sometimes triple polarized glasses because every time he turns around to talk to me, boom. Boom. It's like the sun in your face. So that's number 0. You know what? I don't know if he's got Crisco up there or what, but like we need to stick a couple hats on there.